than Max Verstappen still putting it on pole position, I mean, you're obviously going to be wrong. I mean, do we see anything other than that? I mean, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. But we can hope and we can pray for all of those things. But yeah, thank you, JBet. 29 months. Obviously, hello, Wilco Calf. I hope you're doing well. Perez was really slow in the race, by the way. I know we talked about it a little bit during the sprint race. I mean, he fell back off the Ferrari significantly. What I want to know for tomorrow, or what I want answered is, do we think the Mercedes of, let's say, Russell would have been able to be somewhere with the McLarens if he wasn't stuck behind Sainz for as long as he was? I'm not sure. Yeah, do you know what? Someone was talking about this on Twitter, right? And this is really, really important, what Wilco said there. Lando did a send on Max down into turn 3. He left the inside open. Max got back past him, despite the fact that Lando had DRS down that straight and Max didn't. So, this is twofold. Lando left the inside open, but how the hell has Max got back past him when Lando had DRS and Max didn't? I mean, that's madness in itself. See, I'm just going to get the sprint highlights back up just to see if I'm remembering it right. Yeah, so Lando had DRS. Max went for the inside out of the corner, but Lando had DRS, went to the inside, but then didn't cover it, thought he had it covered, moved back over to the racing line, and then Max, who is right behind him, despite Lando having DRS, just sent it down the inside. It was a bit poor from Norris, really. Naive, I suppose you could say. But, yeah. Ultimately, I don't think it would have made a difference, though, right? I think Max would have been passed at some point. I think that's probably fair to say. Clearly, Max had the quicker car. But, yeah. He's definitely mad. Well, the reason he's mad, he's double mad, is because that move not only allowed Max to get past, it allowed his teammate to get past as well. So him not defending that inside properly, kind of half-assed, actually, I suppose you could say. Not only allowed Max to get back past, it allowed Piastri to get past as well. Which was not good. Not good at all. Good. So yeah. Not great from Lando, that. I mean, the thing is, if you watch it back, I mean, obviously you can't decipher anything from watching it, but excuse me, it felt to me like it was a bit of a send into turn 3, and I think Max was a little bit not annoyed at Lando, but he was like annoyed that he'd left the door open himself, and so he sent it into turn 4, and Max even locked up a little bit as well, and yeah, I don't know why he's done it. Why is, like, not only as Lando left it open, right? He knows what Max is like. You give Max half a gap and he will go for it. Like, because that's the racer that he is. He ain't gonna mess about and sit behind you for 4 laps. If he gets a chance, he'll fucking send it on you. So it's kind of surprising that he gave him that opportunity, really. But there you go. I think ultimately McLaren need another good qualifying if they're going to have a good race. For sure. I think Mercedes need to qualify ahead of the Ferraris. I don't think they're going to be able to qualify ahead of the McLarens. It just felt like for the early part of that race, it was DRS central. And then even towards the end of the race, Hamilton had DRS on Carlos Sainz. Still couldn't get past him. 3 DRS zones, still couldn't get past. Presumably because down that back straight, Sainz is just using all his energy. The pit straight isn't really an opportunity where they'll take it because they'll just get done down the next straight. So if you save your energy for that main straight and have a good exit down into turn 4, you'll stay ahead. And so the Ferraris were definitely slower, but Hamilton couldn't get past him. Russell did well to get past, to be fair. I think what we're seeing this season so far, now it's a lot closer between Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, is that yes, Max has one of the fastest cars, but he's also one of the best racers, and he's smart. Doesn't make many mistakes. So far, Lando hasn't really been in this position in Formula 1, and we are seeing errors from him. We're seeing errors in the race and in qualifying. Like, he's not been having great qualifyings. He has to smooth that out if he's going to compete with Max, because Max operates at such a high level. And I think it's something that maybe people are seeing now, that when Max is challenged, he can rise to it because he doesn't make many mistakes. Now, I was super critical of Max in 2021 because I think he was driving over the limit. Undeniably, he was driving over the limit numerous times, just not taking corners to stop people getting past, and he was being allowed to do it. That's not his fault. That's, you know, the steward's fault. But in terms of not making mistakes, he doesn't. How often do you see Max like making proper full-on mistakes in qualifying or anything? You just don't. He operates at such a high level. He's so consistent. Yeah, do you know what? I wonder sometimes whether Lando wants to send it on Max because they're good friends. I say good friends. I mean, they're friends. I don't think they're like super, super close like now and spend all the time together. But they're on good terms. And I wonder whether sometimes that plays on drivers' minds. I don't know. But yeah, Lando, you know, he sent it. Fair play to him. I'm not sure we're going to see a qualifying that's particularly different to what we saw for the sprint. Also, if anyone wants the YouTube, even though it's qualifying, so it doesn't matter if you're a little bit behind, but if anyone wants the YouTube stream, it's there. Thank you very much. If you're here watching, hit that like button. It's free. If you're on Twitch, then, you know, just, I don't know, Prime. Yeah. Good afternoon, Dan. I'm going to have a look at this dash during qualifying, Wilco, that you've provided. So thank you for that. I'll have a look. Although it doesn't seem to have started yet. I suppose it'll start precisely when it kicks off. Oh, Calf, thank you. Wait, what? I thought Daz... Oh, Daz, you've gifted sub. Thank you very much, Kath. I thought you gifted it to Dan. Oh, Max was asked about this situation with Jos Verstappen as well. I bookmarked it. Hold on. Max said, "My dad has been quite clear about the reason behind it. Of course, I can understand his opinion on that. On the other hand, I want a good relationship with anyone. This scenario could have been avoided." So obviously you've got this situation now where Max's dad, Jos, is obviously in a big disagreement with Christian Horner. Yeah, listen, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I quite like the look of this thing here. Let me just show you what it looks like. Oh, sorry. That's what it looks like. It's quite a nice little layout actually. I might think about using it for tomorrow. I quite like it. Stick with this for now. We won't mess about, but thank you for that, Wilco. I'll have a look at it. I like the track. Yeah, I don't dislike Austria at all. I think it's a fun track to drive. I think it has given us good racing before. I don't think the racing was great in the sprint, was it? I think it flattered to deceive a little bit with the McLaren Verstappen fight at the beginning. I think it flattered to deceive then, but I like the circuit. The gravel traps seem to be doing work as well, guys, because the track limits weren't an issue really in the sprint. There was people getting them, but it wasn't like a huge. What I want to know is, does anyone have an answer for this? What is with the green paint on the last corner and that green curbing that looks like it's been pulled up or something? Has something been taking place here where they've brought the curb in? It's really weird. It looks like they've had an event there where they've brought the circuit in by quite a fair way, and the remnants of it is still on the track. It can't be MotoGP because MotoGP is happening after this. You can just see the remnants of it on the track. Don't know. Charles Leclerc with a good lap time there, 105.9. Norris just behind him. Sainz just behind him. Piastri 105.9 as well. Oof. I think Piastri will get some confidence from that sprint race, you know, though. Getting past Norris and holding the position. I think he'll gain some confidence from that. I do think Norris would have been quicker, though, if they would have let him back past, but... Was it there last year? I didn't even notice it. I wonder what the deal is with it then. Because the track never came in that tight, I don't think. Or did it? Was that the old track line? I don't think it was. Anyway. For those of you not in the know, there is a second Parc Ferme now for disqualifying and the race. So, they were able to change the car setups after the sprint race. So, the second Parc Ferme started the moment they drove out for qualifying. So that's now the Parc Ferme for qualifying and the race, which is a much better improvement from last year when you essentially had a practice session, the sprint, and then I think they had a practice. Did they have a practice session, a sprint, or when they first did the sprints, and then another practice session? Because I think it had the same quality. I can't even remember now. But anyway, the Parc Ferme crossed the sprint and the race, which was stupid because you basically then couldn't change your car. You were ruined for the whole weekend if you got it wrong. Much, much better this time. So, yeah, Harry Benjamin is on commentary duties over Crofty, who's on his second race off. Crofty will miss Azerbaijan as well. But then he's doing all the other races. So he's only missing 3 races. Crofty, Martin Brundle, for instance, is missing 8 in total, I think. We were talking about this earlier, though. Simon Lazenby, the main presenter, is also not going to be doing all the races. He's going to be swapping duties with Rachel Brooks. You'll notice Ted Kravitz isn't doing all of the races either. Bernie Collins steps in for him. So they are alternating between people so that they don't all have to do the same, all the races, basically. So, Hamilton matching Leclerc through the first sector, but Russell was a 10th.5 up on that time. So, now it's switched to Hamilton's time on site. So, Russell is 2/10 up on Hamilton through the first 2 sectors. Hamilton only goes 6th, but we're talking, they're all on 105.9s, but Russell does a 105.6. 3/10 quicker. Hamilton's in 7th there, but there's less than like half a tenth between 2nd and 7th. Like literally half a tenth. Great lap from Russell, though. 3/10 up on everyone. Andrew Shovlin looked really stressed before the sprint. This guy cut to him and he was just like this. Shovlin, he was just... I don't know what that was about. Bono does look a bit stressed. Not stressed, but he looks a bit... down? I don't know. Verstappen just went purple, but then that has now been taken away by Sainz in the first sector. I think Max is going to be hard to beat here. Although Sainz is purple in the first 2 sectors. So Verstappen does a 105.3, but Sainz is purple. I think he's going to go quickest by a tenth. Yeah, Sainz does. A lightning lap from Carlos Sainz, 105.2. Fair play. That's a better lap from Fernando Alonso. 105.6 for Ocon. It's a good lap from him. Go on, Lance Stroll. Oh, 13th, you shit. Hey, Studdy. How you doing, buddy? Albon goes P8th. Is that going to be enough? I don't know. Hamilton obviously will go out again. He has to. I think everyone in the top, outside of the top 10, will have to go again at least. Piastri, purple middle sector. 29-1. Puts himself P2. It's very close. Norris is a 10th down on Carlos Sainz's time, though. Hmm. Hmm. Well, that's George Russell with his brake very much smoking. I didn't see Hamilton making any huge mistake on his lap, though. I just don't think it was very good. I mean, it's a struggle he's had, isn't it? I'll be honest. I don't want to be this guy, but I think he's lost it. Not in race pace, but I think he's lost that qualifying sharpness that he once had. He just doesn't have it anymore. Um, yeah. So Hamilton's on a new set. Russell looks like he's on a used set. Yeah, I mean, Hamilton having to use this new set. He had a spare set because he didn't use it in FP1, but I don't think he would have wanted to have needed to use it in Q1, to be honest. But he has to now. don't think the top four are in any trouble. The top four are absolutely fine. Hmm. God, there's still about 5 cars trying to get out of the pits. Hmm. So, Hulkenberg, there's some incident with Hulkenberg. I'm not quite sure what that is. Hamilton's stuck behind Albon, who does get out of the way to him into turn 4, I think. He's only 3/10 up on the time he needs to get out of the bottom, though, which isn't good enough on fresh tyres. He's just not got pace, Lewis, at all. He'll be safe. Like, he did a 1:05.5, but fresh tyres, that's not a good lap time. That wasn't a good lap. Nico Hulk goes 9th. Oof. Oh, Hamilton on the radio. I'm just slow, mate. Oh, no. Yeah. Hamilton's going out in Q2. Telling you that. Hamilton's just not got it. He's lost it. I'm sorry. He's lost his qualifying. Albon stays 15th. Stroll is a 10th and a half down on Albon's time. So I think, yeah, both Aston Martins are going to go out here, I think. Ooh, that's... Oh, Alonso sneaks into 15th. Perez goes P12. Bloody hell. Not great either, is it? Hmm. Yeah, that was on new tyres for Perez as well. So Hamilton's slow, but bloody hell, Perez is slow. Hey, Chad. I mean, Ferrari seem to have sorted something because they all of a sudden have pace. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Listen, Red Bull knew what they were getting with Perez. They've had years. They know what they're getting with him. Inconsistent, not always able to get anywhere near Max, even as a second place. He was at the beginning of the season, though. So something has changed. Whether there's updates on that car that have changed the way he feels in the car. Because at the beginning of the season, he was doing exactly what they needed of him. And he's gone backwards now. So something has changed for him. Whatever that is, something's changed. Hold on. Need to order a taxi, lads. Going into town later, you're gonna get absolutely smashed. Nah, just kidding. Going for a few beers. Oh, they are coming back, Kath. They are coming back. When I changed everything over to the single PC, I didn't have it set up. It will come. In fact, let me put it on my list of things to do. I haven't got around to setting it back up. Hold on. Yeah, tomorrow, 5 o'clock. I'll put this on my list, Kath. You just reminded me. I knew there was something to do. Right, there we go. Okay. Let me put this on my to-do list. Yes, I have to write to-do lists. I'm old. Channel point, lads. All right. Old schmold. Yeah, sit on your points. I'll have it set up before we stream again on Monday. Yeah, George didn't use a new set of tyres, whereas Lewis did. Looking rough for Lewis, honestly. Looking very rough. Well, listen. I don't know what to tell you, Shaq. I don't know what to tell you. Well, I mean, he must be dripping with sweat. Maybe he's trying to lose weight for a fight. Um, yeah, so my gut instinct here is that Ferrari have found something between yesterday and today in terms of qualifying pace, because Sainz is, well, he was up there legitimately. However, Max also didn't run a new set of tires. So that gap probably isn't, well, it isn't as real as we think, but everyone else around it, and Sainz was still quicker than the McLarens. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see now when presumably everyone will be on new sets of tires. We'll see. Hamilton just has no pace, though, like, at all. See, it has. Yeah, Spa 24. Forgot about that. Well, I didn't forget about it, but I forgot what time it was starting. It's been quite cool here today, though. I've got to say, like, it's not been particularly warm here today. Hi, Jester. You got a haircut? Yeah, I had a haircut yesterday. I needed one though. Hair was getting wild. When my hair starts growing over my ears, I usually just try and tidy it up a little bit myself, like just around my ears and what have you. But then it gets to the point where it's like, yeah, okay, I need to. That's when it starts going this way, it starts looking really untidy. Just hear the car trying to get on throttle, or Sainz trying to get on throttle with that Ferrari out of turn 3 is so difficult. Yeah, turn 4 he had to really hold it before he could put the power down. Charles Leclerc with a Sainz definitely lost time there. Use tyres for Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc is purple through the middle sector there. Yeah, Leclerc 2/10 faster. Yeah, my hair tends to grow, as most people's do, I suppose, but everyone's different. My hair tends to just grow, you know what I mean? And it looks really untidy because it just goes here. If it grew more naturally around my ears and stuff, and you could, I suppose if I let it get long enough, it would naturally, you know, just be a scruffy hair sort of style or whatever. But it just always, because it grows outward, it just looks untidy. God, it's an absolute car pack. Absolute car pack. Good noon, Red. Yeah, not too bad, Red. Thank you. Yeah, the cost has gone up for me as well. Max Verstappen almost 3 tenths up on Charles Leclerc's time. It cost me £20.50 for a haircut and beard trim. Yeah, so she basically like takes in the sides of the beard, you know, does your neck and does the razor on your cheeks and your whatever. IRL grooming, yeah. A 105.2 for Lewis. 0.6 off. A 105 flat from Russell. 0.2 up on Hamilton, as has been the case. Danny Rick, 4th. Piastri, P3, 105 flat. What's Norris got to offer us? Oh, he looked like he was almost near the white line there. Norris goes P4, 105.1, slightly slower than his teammate Piastri. What about Sergio Perez? Yeah, I've never used Manscaped, but I mean, I wouldn't mind one of their trimmers. Perez 5th. Magnussen, oof, 11th. I mean, they're going to get another run. Ocon goes 7th. Not a good lap time from Charles Leclerc, really. I mean, he was on used tyres, but... Oh, that's terrible from Sainz down into turn 4. My trimmers are really bad. They're not good. They run out of battery and they're just not very sharp. They're not good. They're quite low budget ones. 2nd for Sainz. Wow, okay. It didn't look like a good lap, but obviously it was. So yeah, I need. If I was gonna, to be fair, I might. I've been saying it for a while, but I am planning at some point to trim the beard off. Yeah, I mean, I've seen these Manscaped ads, and quite a few YouTubers have like the Asheville channel. I haven't seen Asheville in ages, to be fair. I haven't watched any of the videos in ages, but they had some sort of partnership with Manscaped, but I've never tried anything myself. Oof. That was spicy from Fernando Alonso. So interestingly, Verstappen was gaining on Sainz or down what, turn 6, 7, and then 9 and 10. The higher speed corners. I mean, I think they've got to stop this. They've got to sort out this pit lane nonsense where cars are taking ages to get out of the pits to build a gap. They've got to get on top of it. It's a joke, honestly. It's a yoke. So Perez is just heading down to turn 6. You got Ocon heading down to turn 4. Tsunoda's there as well. Hamilton's just behind him. So Perez is going to be first across the line on his final lap of the front runners. Hamilton's going to run into a little bit of traffic, I think. He's going to run into Tsunoda and Gasly. I think Tsunoda's on a fast lap, but he's going to run into Gasly heading down into probably between turns 5 and 6. He should then be okay for the rest of his lap. Ocon, currently 4/10 slower than Verstappen, but that's a good lap for him. It's still an improvement on what he's doing. Well, he stays ninth. So goes P3, Hamilton, a 5 flat. He'll be safe, but it's not great. Hulkenberg, P9. Okay, so Ricciardo and Gasly have now been pushed out. Tsunoda as well. I think Tsunoda's completed his lap, though, no? Russell goes P3 just ahead of Hamilton. Pretty much identical lap times, though. Excuse me. As Verstappen goes quicker again. Half a second quicker than Sainz, Russell, and Hamilton. Magnussen stays 12th. Alonso? Can he get through? No. 15th for Fernando Alonso. Ricciardo stays P11. Oof. Gasly's currently in the drop zone as well. Can he make it through? No, P12. Ah. I think Tsunoda's out as well. I don't think Tsunoda's improved. So Tsunoda's going to stay P14th, out-qualified by Ricciardo. Ocon gets through to Q3, but Gasly does not. Hulkenberg, yet again, doing great work with that Haas. I don't know what's going on with Aston Martin. What is going on with Aston Martin? What is going on with that car? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Oh, yeah, Gasly was on the gravel at turn 6. Yeah. Oof. I mean, that camera shot was brilliant, though. That camera shot, that low camera shot was awesome. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Interesting. I just don't get what's happened to Aston Martin. I just don't understand it at all. They've gone so far backwards. No idea. It's not even like they're just behind McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari or something, but those teams have just improved. They're behind teams like RB, Haas. Like, they've dropped. Yeah. Okay, then. I mean, Max was half a second quicker than anyone, so I don't see a world in which he's not on pole position. And for some reason, the gap is bigger than in sprint qualifying yesterday. So make that make sense? I don't know. I don't see anyone getting anywhere near him. Ten milliseconds. Look at all that gravel. Holy shit. The leaf blower. Love that. Max fans loving life. Yeah, this. I think this is what Hulkenberg's in trouble for, pushing into the line without being in the fast lane. Hmm. This this pit lane decision, this whole pit lane situation is just, it's just a joke. Track temp is currently 45 degrees. Oof. Hmm. Ocon happy with getting through, and I don't blame him. Wind blowing northwest, it says. Oh, did you see? Did you see the penalty he got in the sprint race? I completely forgot about that. Nico Hulkenberg got when he dived down the inside of Fernando Alonso. He locked his brakes a little bit. He did push Fernando wide, but it wasn't intentional. He's just braked too deep. He was given a 10-second post-race penalty and 2 points on his license. I mean, this shit has to stop. Points on your license is meant for dangerous driving and stopping things when there's a serious incident. He's braked too deep into a corner, not made contact, and it was a mistake. We can't punish drivers for making simple driver errors with penalty points. Penalty points need to be there for people who've made serious errors and deserve to be penalised. Madness that they gave him 2 penalty points for that. I mean, Max is he's got a pole position, hasn't he? I mean, let's be honest. There's no doubt about that. I think Max will get pole position on his first lap. Well, it's Johnny Herbert's the steward. So, oh, the hell's happened there? Why the fuck was the jack? Lewis has pulled out, and there's a jack that has been left in the way or something. What the hell? It's not very smart, is it? So Leclerc and Hulkenberg only have one set of new tyres. Everyone else has two. Perez and Ocon don't have a new set of tyres. Oh. Max getting a slipstream down the straight from Hulkenberg again. Yeah. Norris does have purple first sector, though. $16.3 for Verstappen, a 16.2 for Norris. $28.7 for Verstappen. $105.0 for Piastri. A 104.4. Woo-wee. Yeah, 104.7 for Norris. Nowhere near quick enough. Charles Leclerc was not on a news. Unsafe release for Lewis Hamilton noted. Oh, that's the thing in the pit lane. Fifth for Lewis. Oof. 105.1. I think Russell will be third or fourth with this lap. Yeah, third. 104.9. I mean, everyone's miles off Max Verstappen. Yeah. Not good. Hamilton needs a good qualifying, and he ain't going to get one. Russell, if he's finished P3, would be happy with that, I think. He would be ahead of both Ferraris and one of the McLarens. He'd be very happy with that. And he seemed to have pretty good pace, so I think there'd be a good chance of Russell getting a podium from that. Lewis ain't getting no podium. He is well off it this weekend. You'd think he'd be on it considering he had a good race last week, but he's nowhere. His head's just not in it. His head is not in it. I mean, yeah, I mean, this now is just a fight for second place. Max is miles ahead of everyone. So it's just who's going to get second. Hmm. Three minutes. Everyone's going back out. Who's playing in the football today? Is there a kickoff at 5 o'clock? Switzerland and Italy. Hmm. Interesting. Okay then. Who's getting second place then, guys? Because let's be honest. I don't know why there's so much of a gap between Max and the rest today when it was so much closer yesterday. I don't know why the gap is much bigger now, but it is. You know, it's at least 0.3 to Norris, and no one's going to bridge that to Max now. So Max is getting pole position. That's like a shoe-in. It's guaranteed now. The question is, who's going to get the front row? It's looking like Norris to me, unless someone pulls a lap out of their Tootsie. You know, it's looking like it's going to be Norris second. Probably Russell third, maybe second. Verstappen has started his lap now. He's got Russell and Hamilton ahead of him. I mean, Russell might be giving him a fucking tow. He just gets past Russell going into turn 3. Piastri's a 10th down on Verstappen, sector 1. Sainz is less than a 10th down on Verstappen, but Verstappen is up on Verstappen. So they're down on Verstappen, and Verstappen is up on Verstappen. I think Max is going to be a little bit quicker. Yeah, a 10th quicker, 104.3. Piastri is going to be 3/10 slower, which currently is going to put in P2 temporarily. But Sainz, I think, is going to go a little bit quicker. Hulkenberg, P8th. P8th? P8th? Piastri, I think, is going to temporarily go second. And then Sainz is going to pip him. Oh, fourth! Sainz lost time! Yeah, Norris is 0.2 off as well. No one's getting close to this. If Norris finishes this lap this way, though, he will be second. Yeah, 104.7, 0.4 off Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc is 0.4 off. Verstappen's been noted by race control for driving slowly.